Welcome back to Mainstream Current, y'all. I'm Drew Hoagland, and today we're discussing the results of Maine's November 2024 election and ballot, or referendum questions. So, getting right into it, we have the first the only 5 questions on Maine's ballot. We don't need to get back into them and rehash them because at this point we voted, so we are as familiar as we're going to be until they become an issue, which I do predict is very possible to happen. Not by question number 1. So question number 1 imposes campaign contribution limits. 73.9% of us in the state said, hell nah, we don't want any more donations than $5,000. So I like that. I voted for that. Maine question 2 authorizes bonds for the Maine Technological Institute. I did not vote yes on this. However, 54.2% did. The rest of the questions, this one and the next 3, are all very evenly divided down the middle. So that gives me pause because a lot of us were for it and a lot of us weren't. So that's where I'm suspect. I'm also suspect where we're going to come up with all this money to pay back the federal government and these investors that are taking on these bonds for us until they become part of our taxes. So question number 3 authorizes bonds to restore historic buildings. 51.1% said yes. I was one of those percentage. I was part of that percentage because I think that there is something to be said in restoring historic buildings and keeping them here for future generations. $10 million compared to the other millions and millions of dollars and the other questions, I was willing to see myself paying for that in the future. Question number 4 authorizes bonds to design and develop trails. $30 million is a lot of money, and we are going to have to pay it back. And as much as I'm an outdoorsman, as much as I love spending time in nature, it's where my office is usually in nature. So that being said, that's a lot of money, and I'm not sure it's all going to go towards the good of things that we're hoping it will. I hope it does, but we'll see. Question number 5 changes the state flag back to the original, and I did vote in favor of this because I like the original. It's iconic. I wear a shirt like that, and if I haven't in any, I have in videos, and I think there's still one upcoming where I will wear it, and I probably will continue to. Maybe in the future this can be one that we readdress. But for now, 55.4% of Mainers said no. So I can concede I'm a little disappointed in what we decided as a state, but that is part of our constitutional republic. We're not a true democracy, but this is a constitutional republic, and this is part of that sliver of democracy that we do have. It's more than a sliver, but that's part of the democracy. So now getting into the next video, I want to pull up Angus King where he accepts victory. So I'm going to pull up that video now.
Senator Angus King claimed victory early this afternoon. Addressing cheering supporters, he said he's ready to get back to work.
I'm feeling very positive about this. I've already heard this morning from a number of my colleagues, including several Republican colleagues who are looking forward to working together.
Eager supporters packed the polls Tuesday to see another victory for Senator Angus King.
I do love me some Angus King.
I've been watching Angus King on TV since I was a kid.
Late on election night, questions remained about the margin of victory and the possibility of ranked choice voting affecting the race. But by Wednesday afternoon, King declared victory and his opponents conceded. The second-place candidate, Republican Demi Kazunas, said Tuesday night she's proud of her campaign, even if it came up short.
And we'll see how the numbers come in, but no matter what, this is part of the American dream.
In his 3rd term, the independent senator vows he'll continue to work with lawmakers on both sides of the aisle, but it will now be a new Congress he walks into. Republicans have flipped the Senate red, something King won't comment on, instead only calling for bipartisan solutions.
Of course, Donald Trump has been elected president, and we will go forward and work together to try to further the interest of those people that I've heard in Maine.
During this campaign, we did hear King say he considered not running for re-election in this cycle. The senator will be 86 years old when he's out of office, and we expect that this will be his final term. In Portland, Anna Kuhn, CBS 13 News.
All right. So I don't need to go into any more than what the video went into. I am personally not a fan of Angus King. If you've watched any of the videos, I think I had 3 of them, and it was last year. Like, I've been kind of petitioning against him for a while. I did figure that this was going to happen because he doesn't lose races he runs in. But he did win 51.8%, and Gusuanas came in with 34.6%, so it wasn't really close. And then the third follow-up was Costello. He had 10.5%. So the people have spoken, and they have elected Angus King, an independent, once again. I hope he stands true to what he said. I hope he is more bipartisan, and I hope that he is more willing to work across the row, whatever that saying is. Because so far, and mostly in his past, he has voted Democrat, even though he's claimed to be independent. He doesn't have much of a Republican streak or a right-leaning streak. I would, and at least half of the state of Maine would like to see that change. So Angus King, please don't take your power lightly. Now, well, actually, first up, there was also, who I did get to vote on, because I didn't get to vote on Angus King, but I did get to vote on Pingree versus Russell. I did vote Russell, but Pingree won. It was 58% to his 36%. And so, again, the people have spoken. Shelley Pingree, has never lost the race she has won in either, so I'll give her that. That means she's doing something right, and the constituents in her area mostly agree with her. So I'll concede there. Then we go into Golden, Ontario. I didn't get to vote on this, but all of these articles, all of them, mostly finished being updated by the 7th. Like, even the 8th on Friday, everyone, I guess, was tired and didn't really show up to work. So this article from Spectrum News was written on the 6th, November 6th, by Sean Murphy, and it's Golden declares victory in tightly contested 2nd District race in Maine. U.S. Representative Jared Golden issued a statement Wednesday afternoon declaring victory in the tight race against Republican challenger Austin Theriault. Multiple media outlets were calling the race in favor of Golden as of Wednesday afternoon, but the numbers remained tight, with the Associated Press putting Golden in the lead at 50.3% to Theriault's 49.4%, with 89% of precincts reporting in. Theriault did not seem to be ready to concede the race, as evidenced by a statement released just before 2 p.m. Wednesday. This race still remains too close to call, Theriault's campaign spokeswoman Priya Sam Sunder said. We're well within the margin that would trigger a state-funded automatic recount, and every vote should be counted. Despite the narrow margin, Golden issued a statement celebrating the win. So then I pulled up an article, also from Spectrum News, and also written by Sean Murphy. This came out November 7th. Theriault requests a recount in Maine's 2nd District race against Golden. Republican candidate Austin Theriault has requested a recount in the race to represent Maine's 2nd District in Congress. The former NASCAR driver is in a tight race against incumbent Democrat Jared Golden. The Bangor Daily News declared Golden the winner Wednesday, reporting Golden had 50.4% of the vote compared to Theriault's 49.6%. Golden declared victory on Wednesday. On Thursday afternoon, Theriault's campaign announced he was requesting a recount. Given that this is the closest race in modern Maine history, we must ensure a full, accurate count, Theriault's campaign manager Sean Roderick said in a statement. Despite being significantly outspent, this race is still extremely close. We must work together to ensure the Mainers' voice are heard and the final results reflect the will of the people. Terrio's campaign noted a mere 2,000 votes separates the candidates, making the race close enough to warrant a recount. And I have to give it to him. If it was Golden on the other side, it doesn't matter who's on the other side. If it's a difference between 2,000 votes, even in a state of Maine with 1.3 million people, you have to say that 2,000 votes is a mere margin. So I can totally understand wanting to have a recount there. So then I'm pulled up to end this video. Democrat, this is from Maine Morning Star, written by Anne Marie Hilton on November 7th. Democrats poised to maintain control of Maine legislature. The Maine House Democratic Campaign Committee said Thursday morning it was still waiting on one race to be called to confirm a majority in the lower chamber. Results collected by the House committee as well as its counterpart in the Senate show at least a 76 to 72 seat majority in the House and a 20 to 13 seat majority in the Senate. If these results bear out, even with some possible recounts, it means the Democrats in Maine have successfully bucked a national trend this election season of Republicans gaining control of state legislature. So the Maine people have spoken. As a nation, we have spoken. We have elected Donald J. Trump as our president once again. He was our 45th president, and he will be our 47th president. And my reaction to how he was elected this time is drastically different to last time. And at first, I thought it was some kind of attack on democracy. But one, we're a constitutional republic. Two, this is democracy. People are speaking. We have spoken. We have let our voices be heard. So this is part of it. And if Maine is left-leaning, then that is how the state leans. I will say it's a bit upsetting because you see the majority of the state, geographically wise, does not support a lot of these left-leaning policies and politicians. But the coast, where a lot more people are, and there's a lot more money as well, they voted differently. So I will say that whoever's in power, whether it's left or right, here in the state of Maine, you have at least 50% of the population that you really need to work towards unifying. And I really do have hope that we can unify and come together and put some of this division that we've had behind and go back to a time when we weren't so divided, when neighbors could drink beer at the end of the night after a hard day's work, even if they voted differently. Yeah, sure, they might get into an argument here or there, but the next Thursday come around poker night, they'll be there, and it'll be like nothing happened. So I kind of miss those. I definitely miss those times, and I want to hear your opinions. I want to know what you guys think. I do want to say that politicians, those in power have a lot of power. And with that comes a lot of responsibility, as cliche as that is. It is really a quote worth quoting. So I hope that whoever's in power does not take it lightly, takes the responsibility seriously, and really is doing it for the right reasons. And I look forward to seeing where we go as a country, because I know it can always get worse, but truthfully, I can only see it going up from here. I want to know your opinion, so go ahead, like, comment, share, subscribe, do all those things because they really do help. And let me know what you're thinking. Are you excited? Are you pissed off? Is there a certain question or politician that got elected or passed that you have personal grievances against, or some other reason? Let me know down in the comments. And until the next video, y'all, this has been Drew Hoagland with Mainstream Current.
Ready, fight!